Before we start, call me a quack, a nut, a wacko, a weirdo. There it goes. Ha. Look at that. Gotta do the shrine. Okay, so this is the Traversing Golden Seas piece. It's been featured on my website, on Facebook, The Art of F.A. Chekki on my page quite a bit. You may have seen it around here and there. You see in the background, certainly. This is a piece I did. It's an old clipper type ship, like a 17th, 18th century ship, old pirate ship. Obviously, this belonged to some type of like wealthy or noble fleet, and then it was taken over. So it was kind of a cool, fun piece I worked on for about 2 months. A lot of application here in the water comes from using some gloss to give it this look. You can see when I put a little light on there, it kind of shines it all up. But this is a piece I'm really proud of. I use it as sort of an iconic piece for me in my art because I love painting ships. And you can kind of get a better look right here. So I just want to show you that real quick. And like I said, I really love this piece. It's not for sale. It's a personal collection piece, but there are prints available on fineartamerica.com on my site there, which you can also find on my Facebook page. So there you go. And going back over here, we were working on this piece. And there's some closer buildings. A couple things I want to do, actually. I also want to show you something we're going to end up doing. We're going to end up illuminating quite a bit more here where there's some light. I haven't done that yet because I'm trying to figure out how we're going to fit in some character like images in there, like people walking around. So they're going to be kind of silhouetted or illuminated to some extent. We have a lot of light coming from inside these buildings because they're, it's dusk or whatnot, and they're turning on all the lights because, I mean, this is the time to start doing it. There's fires roaring. Maybe it's a little colder here. There's that other building I kind of worked on too. Darkened it in a bit. It's just got like some type of grain elevator on there, just where they drop off stuff there from the ship. A lot of this is not done. So much work to do, really. So this is going to make it fun. It's going to give me a lot of content to do for the YouTube channel. This alleyway needs to be done. We have some little bit of lighting in the back here. You can kind of see it. But this building here, I feel there's too much white right here. I'm feeling like this, the buildings are, white. And I'm going to kind of green tint this, and then I'm going to start working on this, working in like the stone and brick, and then the shingles on here. So there'll be some things on there. I'm going to do a little more detail up close. This is going to take a while to finish this brick building over here, because it's going to be a brick building. All bricks, tile, or shingles on the roof. It's got a little platform, probably like where they have scales and whatnot, where they bring in fish or whatever the case may be. There'll be some barrels over here or whatnot. It's just another commercial-like building, probably where they all live upstairs. They all live up there and they do their business downstairs at the port. And I'm really excited to do this one. So that is going to be next. Okay, here we are. Looks like a good angle here, but like I said, I am going to give this building here a little bit of a greenish, earthy tone tint. I don't know what you want to call it. A little bit more of the, I guess I think like how some buildings just kind of have like, I don't know why. It's maybe just mildew, molds, things that grow on this plaster. And lo and behold, I do not have any sap green, of course. So I do have a little bit of a different green on here. But one thing you could do with green that's easy to do if you want to make it less green, you know, like Kermit the Frog green, is add a little brown to it. And I'm using a very small brush for the application of this, something like this here, okay? But I got some fresh green paint on here. I have a little bit of these browns in here that I'm just gonna take these two colors and test them out here on some white to see what they look like. Probably add in a little white for this color. Where I said a little bit of green, get more of that green. Come on. Sometimes with oils, this is like, I'm not using like this real clean palette, but I have one here where you kind of have to, that's my kid, of course, yelling. What, Matthew? Yes. Is it? No, it's not. Okay, hold on a second. I'll be right down. There's a pizza here, so that's pretty important. This is one of the most exciting things happened to me tonight. But I'll be back and I'll be painting after I eat some pizza. Boy, needed sustenance. Yeah. Oh, boy. That was good pizza. I can't say where it came from, so you're just going to have to guess. Dang copyright and trademark nonsense. Okay, so I'm going to need to put a little brown in this, a little bit of like maybe... That was a hiccup, it wasn't a raw sienna. Sienna, like Sierra Nevada, but not really. Okay, now, I hear a lot about, this is something I've been looking at, and it kind of humors me a little bit, because I guess I myself have never realized what it was, but I've watched it many times. But it's called ASMR. And it's an audio sensory thing where it's like that people enjoy watching videos or videos of people painting or taking a soap block or a bar of soap and cutting it up. Maybe this is a little ASMR-ish. I don't know. This is a little break in there. Okay, a little bit of interference came through. What that was an alarm on my phone to remind my kids to brush their teeth. Probably heard me yell. My kid was saying, "The pizza's here," earlier. Like I said, that was a big moment of the evening. Got to get the pizza. And I'm thinking this like olivish, I'm making sort of like a downer green in here. I'm just greening this building. And I have to add in a little blacks in here to put back my shadows. Although we still want some of that color to come through. And like I said, sap green is a great color for this that I needed to step over here and grab. I have paints and a drawer over here to keep gremlins out of it, which are really just children. Woo! I just painted my wrist a little bit. It's alright. Oil paint, come off. Clear the throat. And since I'm kind of just really talking to myself, and I got like 3 viewers or something in my last video, I'm confident it's gonna get better than that. So I just gotta talk to myself and just keep doing this. And one of the reasons I'm doing this, I want people to see my art. Okay, I was talking about ASMR earlier. And that might be a reason to watch some of these videos. I can dig that. I understand ASMR from, like I said, good old Bob Ross. And not just Bob Ross, though. Lots of different things. Like, making slime might be ASMR, I guess. I don't know. I just think it's humorous to me, and so I tag it that in here because I guess that's kind of how YouTube works. You don't hear YouTube talking about it all the time, but man, their secrets of what they do, I have no idea. But the tags and the SEO and the social media promotion, I'm not gonna, shameless self promotion, whatever. I gotta find a way to get viewers. I post this stuff on Facebook and try to get someone to watch because I want people to see it. I think this is just fun. It's a lot of fun. I hear a kid coming my way. I don't know which one it is. I'm scared because they probably want kid attention right now, and I'm doing this. I probably shouldn't be on here too long. But like I said, this is gonna be a short video. We're just kind of getting started here. Gonna be sort of just patting in the dirt, the grime, the muck, the filth of being next to the sea. And it's just in there. I'm just tapping a little with a little more sap green and brown mixed in with it. I just want this building. I'm not gonna take away all the color from it, but I need to get rid of some white on the painting here on this side, and I'm gonna work this in as I go. And the purpose, like I said, of that is I really feel this building needs some character here. It's such a bigger building. We'll go in with the wire brush or the one hairbrush too at some point as well. But if you have a building that's just very white, like those ones back there, those have probably been painted and been well kept. I hear a child talk. Yes, Matthew? Yes? What can I do for you, son? Kid's in a panic mode. Probably can't find his Beyblade or whatever the toys are nowadays that they play with. Can't find my iPad. Daddy, fix it. Daddy, I'm in the office. Matthew. So you have to listen a little bit of that. Yeah? What? What do you need? It's Matthew, my son. He's 9. You can see him on here once in a while. I mentioned in the description there'd be some kid. Yes? Come here. Yeah, I'm just painting.
I have a question.
What?
What are you recording?
I'm recording myself painting this. What do you need?
What does, how much does Minecraft cost on the Xbox 360?
I don't know.
How much did it cost Austin when he got it?
I don't know. I really have no clue. Ask him. He's the one that bought it. It's probably a lot more since then. I don't know. I'm in no way affiliated with Xbox. And my son just had a question. I don't look to make any money off of Xbox or Microsoft or anything. It was an innocent child question, so not Bill Gates anymore, I guess. Whoever works at Microsoft, don't come after me. Oh, of course they don't shut the door either. Let me do that. We don't have intercom. It's called screaming in the house. And this is like a larger home that we ended up acquiring. I'll tour the house with you another time. Mainly because we have 3 kids living here and people coming in and out. Man, you're like, the pretty white is all gone. It's okay. It's gonna be all right. Maybe that's just me panicking inside a little bit because I changed something drastically. I need to leave it like this for now because I'm going to probably have to shade some more and do some stuff. But I think in terms of that stuff, what I'm going to do is just lighten up some green here. This sort of an olive-ish green and a little white to it, and decide, okay, well now I've dirtied this building. It looks like the inside of my fish tank right now. But what the point of this is that buildings mildew and mold, especially if you're near water. I live in Texas, and one of the big old problems with houses here is molds. Yep. Some light coming in from the side there, kind of reflective light. So I'm going to put a little bit of light back in, so wherever I take it out, I can put it back in. And we're going to define this building. Sorry, I got to wipe that down a little bit. As you can see right there, what did I just do? It's not the end of the world. It's just happy accidents. Take a little bit of paper towel. It's all right. I'm going to have to fix some of these tiles anyways. I'm not quite done with the tile. Just wipe it off. It's pretty dry underneath. This oil paint does not. It takes a long time for oils to dry. But you just got to get into your happy Zen state. You know what I'm saying? That was really convoluted right there. I just mixed all that together. Not the paint, what I just said. Sometimes I say stuff where I'm even like looking back on what I just said, or maybe something I posted online, I'd be like, either that was really stupid, and that's okay, or I'll just laugh at myself, and hopefully someone will just be laughing with me, but I'll be the one first to laugh at myself. But I guess if I'm the fool, it was my fault to begin with. Didn't play the fool. Don't be a fool. Remember Mr. T? I love Mr. T. Oh boy, I love that guy. He was humble, he was meek. Wore shoes from when he, wherever he used to live before he became famous, just to remind himself of his humility, where he came from. How can you not like that and respect that? My biggest problem with people is lack of humility, really is. I know sometimes, I'm sure as an American, I don't always have the humility I need because we come from a land of plenty. But I think that's a trait many of us should work on. And whether you're from here or another country with wealth, which I consider myself very fortunate. I mean, I work another job, but I do want to be, like I said, in my most recent blog post on my website, I do want to be a serious artist. I mean, I want to paint different. This is not the only stuff I want to paint. I showed you the ship earlier. And I want to paint lots of different things. This next year, I have a storyline on my page on Facebook, and it's also a blog post on F.A. Chekki Original Art. I got my blog going on there now. Talk about a lot of different things, but I want to do like a kind of like a much more fantasy driven, taking in all that landscape and seascape stuff, but just doing like airships and dragons and castles and, you know, enchanted forests and things like that. A lot of my friends on Facebook are into that as much as I am. They write maybe about it, or they do their art much more about it. But I love it. Ever since I was a kid, I really enjoyed things in the realm of fantasy. I'm a huge Lord of the Rings fan. Some other things too. I got a little black on this little wire brush, so I just kind of wanted to put a little color back in there. I'm going to paint for a little bit longer. I don't want these to be too long, but this episode 3 you're going to have to do in 2 parts. Episode 3 part 1 and episode 3 part 2. Maybe you'll learn a thing or two. Maybe you'll have a laugh or two. And like I said, if you're laughing with me, awesome. If you're laughing at me, I can understand that. Like I said, I can be a kind of a jackass sometimes, I guess. Kids, it's a donkey, okay? Moms, with your kids. If you're watching this, I didn't say a bad word. It's even in the Bible, they mention asses that are donkeys. And that's the text. Context, not the text. The context that I was using it in. I can be a little bit weird. And that's cool. I think, you know who was kind of weird too, and I always thought about this. And I love him, you know, not as much as maybe some of the other artists, but he's one of my favorites. Salvador Dali, man. He did surreal art. I think that dude, amazing artist, amazing person in terms of his personality. And he was a little bit weird. I don't think people think this about Andy Warhol. That guy was a little bit weird. Come on. He was weird in like a non sequitur way, you know, like, look at my hair, it's all, you know, it's all white, and you know, my art is pop art, and I don't really care what you think of it. I'll make a Campbell soup can, and if you like it, awesome. I just made a lot of money on it. I have no idea why, but people like Campbell soup enough, and they like me. Man, that guy was whacked. I love him. I loved Andy Warhol too. You know, I didn't really become a big fan of Andy Warhol until in my adult years. When I was a kid, I didn't get it. I was like, Campbell soup can, yeah. And he paints Marilyn Monroe. He did pop art. You know, that was his thing. He did pop art. But what he did was engaged people in art in a different way, and that's something that I think great artists do. Is they either invent a new form of art, like, you know, like the Impressionists when they came out with that, you know, Monet, Manet, all the Matisse there, that time period. They engaged people in art in a way. I'm lightening this up with a little bit of some Indian yellow. Actually, it's raw sienna, not Indian yellow. Just putting a little light where I think light's gonna come out of the windows. But this barrel needs some too, a little bit. An artist come out with like a new form or whatnot. The artist is still alive, Larry Poons. I don't even know what the heck his art's called. I think it's some type of very visual, like an optical type of art and whatnot. But he pioneered some modern art, and that's what a lot of big artists have done. And a lot of stuff now is I think it's in the digital world, because digital allows you to go to a new level never seen before. Took the little, I'm just using this little wire brush. I call it's like a couple hairs, like mended together because of paint that I just leave that way. But I'm using that to kind of put in some effects on here. And these old buildings are really cracked. I had to fix these little barrels and boxes too. As I go, I'll kind of add little details, but I think I'm going to stop right about here with just a few things before I sign off on this part 1 of episode 3, where I've altered this building in the way I thought it needed to be, because, hey, something doesn't look right to the eye, change it. Sometimes takes the mind some time to catch up, you know? And it was starting to catch up to me. And it's my painting. I want it the way I don't care. If somebody wants to tell me something about it, I might take it. And yeah, that's a great suggestion. I like that. Otherwise, I'd be like, no, I like what I did. I'm not going to change that. But thanks for letting me know. Great suggestion. You know, that might be the way you like it. But it would not be the person going into my mind. One of the things that art does, music is art. One of the things that art does is it takes the viewer into the mind of the artist. Okay, I'm being serious here now. I really am. But it takes the viewer into the mind of the artist. And how am I doing that when I'm incorporating everybody else's suggestions? And people go to art school and the teacher tells them how to do it, right? But in the end, you know what the funny thing about the master telling the student? He's just giving them the techniques. He's saying, this is how you do art. This is how you do this type of art. This is how you do realism. This is how you do impressionism. This is how you do sculpture. This is how you do pottery. This is how you do paint a flower, paint a still life, or a fruit basket, or whatever the case may be. In the end, teacher doesn't necessarily teach you how to become a great artist. No. Doesn't teach you how to do the art the way you want to do it. So I know I haven't signed off just yet. I want to end in saying this because I really believe this, is if you like doing art, do art in your vision. Okay, it's okay to look at other art. I'm not saying don't look at anything else. No. Looking at other stuff is what inspires us and teaches us many things. And it's a study of how someone else did something and be like, how did that artist do that? I'm gonna try to do it like them. Don't copy them. If you just keep copying another artist, guess what's gonna happen? You know, people will be like, oh, he's just Matisse, but you know, he's just a guy in the 21st century trying to look like Matisse. That's nothing new. I have an opinion. You might disagree with me, but maybe it's a controversial one. I think we're on the threshold, the precipice of, with the internet and everything changing a lot in the art world, art being such a different game right now. Modern art, they've done everything like toilet bowls with freaking crucifixes in it to, you know, all kinds of crazy stuff that you see, like big shiny spheres out in the middle of the town square, like in Chicago, or paintings of shapes and things like that. I mean, there's only so many places we can go with this, you know. I mean, you can always make a permutation, a slightly different way of doing something, or innovate and this and that. But I think the market is about to take a new turn, and that's because we're entering a new age. And I think people are kind of getting a little bit, you know, worn out on certain types of art. Okay, they say, okay, we've been doing this modern art thing for a while. People using trash to make stuff and whatever, you know. It's like, okay, I've seen enough sculptures made out of things from the landfill, and that's really cool. But I think people will come back to an appreciation of art in a different way, and that's to say, well, you know, art should be a reflection of the artist in a lot of ways, and not just about market. I think people are going to dig a lot deeper. I think they're not looking at market anymore and saying, oh, yeah, well, the trash sold. The trash sculpture sold, so make more trash sculptures. I think artists are coming to a different point in this and saying, especially with how social media and the internet and a lot of different things kind of, I think, alter the way that we think and socialize and value things, and that art now is going to enter into a new phase, and this is a big opportunity for people in art, and I do believe that this phase in art that we're entering into potentially, and I could be totally wrong, could be much more the same, you know. I think my son could do that, and he doesn't even know anything about art. He does it all the time. He's 3. No, that's a lot of that stuff is great. These artists could do a lot of other things. They just did that because that's what the market wanted. They did art that the market would buy, and I think the market's been telling artists what to do, what to make, and that's what they've been making. I think artists are taking that control back because there's so many more ways that you can promote your art, like YouTube. I'm using that. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Twitter. You see that all at the end of my video. And the point I want to make is, I think artists are going to be taking the power back and saying, no, we're going to make art we like, because the chances of most artists becoming famous or rich, you know, is really, really slim. So artists are going to be like, but you know what? There's a lot of people who can buy prints. They can buy my art online. Or, you know, I can get it into a gallery, because a lot more galleries are looking for fresh content. And, you know, what does it matter in the end? You know, because there's a lot of competition. A world of 7 billion people. Diary of the mouth. Not diarrhea of the mouth. But I just wanted to end in saying, I think I painted something like this because I love something like this. I did a rainbow sky, you know. I mean, it's fantasy-like. I wanted something fantasy-like. That's what my feelings felt like painting. I always wanted to do a port scene, and I spent this whole year, 2018, 2019, doing seascapes, and then ending with ships, and then ending with this majestic port. Just because I love it, okay? And I know other people love it too, so I do it because I love it first, and I love it how other people love it. And if that's what it's going to be, you know, I'm sharing my mind with other people. They're in my mind. Perhaps this port, when it's done, this is a place I feel like I've been there or something. Maybe in another life or whatnot, or in my dreams. And in this case, it's a place maybe I just want to visit in my mind and go there. So to end, I haven't come up with any catchy ways of signing off, but I always say, have fun when you paint, do what you want to do. But those who want to be serious artists, those that really want to get into doing some profound things, I say be the artist that you were born to be. Don't try to be like someone else. What you were born to be is up to you. Is you control your fate. So again, be the artist you were born to be. I'm trying to be the artist I was born to be, and I want to share it with you here on YouTube. I hope you enjoyed this part 1 of episode 3, The Art of F.A. Chekki. You kind of see where I made this building look a little different. And I think I feel better about it, even though some people might be like, why'd you get rid of the white? Well, I'm signing off. Be the artist you were born to be. Me being the artist I was born to be. So I'm doing this building the way I want it to be. I'm doing this building the way I feel. I'm doing it the way I feel. You hear that word? Feel. I feel it needs to be this way. If someone wants to feel it be another way, paint it yourself. Paint it yourself, ain't it? No, paint it yourself. If you want something to look a certain way and you start telling the artist, well, it should be like this. No. Maybe when the person's a student. When you're mentoring someone, yeah, you can tell someone, no, if you're trying to paint this, in order to be effective, you need to do this, this, and that. So listen to the teacher. I'm not saying not to listen to the art teacher. Once you're done with your education, you probably shouldn't be, or maybe you aren't painting anymore. Your education goes your whole life, I think, because I think you learn new things every time. And again, I'm going to say bye. Hope you enjoyed this again. I'm just rambling on. And be the artist you're born to be. I'll say that one more time because I think that's so important. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time.